Senator Al Franken spoke about sexual misconduct allegations made against him, but not resigning.
The family of a Hofstra student who was shot by police in 2013 has settled a lawsuit with local law enforcement.
All those stories coming up on Hofstra News Now.
And this is Hofstra News Now.
And I'm Braden Howbleib. Here's our top story. The British royal family has just announced that Prince Harry is engaged to American Meghan Markle. They were quietly engaged a month ago, and they have now already begun planning their spring wedding. CNN's Karen Chafa has a report.
There she was sitting there. I was like, okay, well, I'm going to really have to up my game.
For the first time since Monday's big announcement, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle speaking with the BBC about their courtship and now a spring wedding.
The fact that I fell in love with Meghan so incredibly quickly was a sort of confirmation to me that everything, all the stars were aligned, everything was just perfect.
Their engagement, they told the BBC, took place earlier this month on an otherwise ordinary night.
Just an amazing surprise. It was so sweet and natural and very romantic. He got on one knee.
Of course.
Was it an instant yes from you?
Yes.
Prince Harry is fifth in line for the British throne. Markle, an American actress known for her role in the TV show Suits. Markle said the couple was introduced by a friend and she had just one question.
I didn't know much about him, and so the only thing that I had asked her when she said she wanted to set us up was, I had one question. I said, well, is he nice?
The wedding will take place next spring.
I think this is the happy ending that people have wished for Prince Harry. He's been very vocal this year about how he struggled in the years following his mother's death. He's poured his heart and soul into the Invictus Games. But as William said when he married Kate, it makes such a difference when you've got someone alongside you.
2018 was already slated to be an exciting year for the royal family. Harry's brother, Prince William, and wife Catherine are expecting their third child in April. I'm Karen Chafa reporting.
House Republicans are moving forward to expand gun owners' rights. This is the first measure since the mass shootings in Las Vegas and Texas. The bill would allow a gun owner with a state-issued concealed carry permit to carry a handgun in any state that allows concealed weapons. Gun owners would then be able to travel freely between states without worry of conflicting laws. The Judiciary Committee is scheduled to vote on this NRA-backed bill on Wednesday. However, Democrats are renewing their calls for tighter gun control in the wake of mass shootings.
Minnesota Senator Al Franken has been accused of sexual harassment on multiple occasions, and today publicly announced that he will not be resigning. Franken is now one of two members of Congress with claims of inappropriate touching in the workplace with women and who have come forward saying that the Democratic senator groped them and in one incident forcibly kissed them. Many of these reports have appeared with picture evidence to support it. Acknowledging his wrongdoings, Franken apologized outside of the Senate at a news conference today.
I know there are no magic words that I can say to regain your trust, and I know that's going to take time. I'm ready to start that process, and it starts with going back to work today.
Franken says that he will cooperate with the Senate Ethics Committee while they investigate his behavior. Despite the sexual harassment claims, there's not been evidence of calls wanting Franken to resign from his seat in the Senate.
Alabama Republican Senator candidate Roy Moore is using a new television ad to push back on allegations of sexual misconduct against him. At least 8 women have accused Moore of sexual impropriety 30 years ago. One of the women was 14 years old. A new pro-Moore ad claims the allegations are false and blames liberal elites and the Republican establishment for trying to sink his candidacy. He is facing off against Democrat Doug Jones in a December 12 special election to fill a seat vacated by Republican Jeff Sessions, who is now U.S. Attorney General. A lawsuit has been settled in the case involving the family of a Hofstra University student shot by police back in 2013. 21-year-old Andrea Robello was fatally shot by a police officer after being used as a human shield in a home invasion. The family accused the police department of negligence and claimed that the officers were not properly trained to handle hostage scenarios. Today, the Nassau County Legislature approved a payout to the family of $4.5 million.
Aid is slowly arriving in Yemen during a crippling humanitarian crisis. Yemen, on the brink of famine, received a shipment of 5,500 tons of flour yesterday. This was the first major food shipment in 3 weeks. The UN also delivered urgently needed vaccinations for more than 500,000 children. Relief efforts have been continuously blocked as part of a conflict with Saudi Arabia. Yemen is one of the world's poorest countries, and according to the UN, a child dies every 10 minutes from disease or malnutrition. The shipments are small, but it's a step forward in what many hope will lead to a greater relief efforts. Authorities in Indonesia have issued the highest level of warning possible after a volcanic eruption from Mount Agung on the Indonesian resort island of Bali. The eruptions forced the closure of the island's main airport and evacuations of thousands of residents living nearby. A video released by the country's disaster management agency shows torrents of mud and volcanic debris on the mountains. Bali's main international airport was closed on Monday, leaving tens of thousands of passengers stranded and wondering how to get home. Mount Agung has been dormant for over 50 years. It last erupted in 1963, sending ash as far as the capital of Jakarta, destroying many villages and taking the lives of more than 7,500 people.
Coming up, Joe Sibilia with the entertainment.
Every year, almost 40 children die of heat stroke after being forgotten in a vehicle. In 70-degree weather, it takes only minutes for the inside of a car to heat up like an oven. At 104 degrees, heat stroke begins, followed by loss of consciousness.
Yeah. Should go an hour and a half or so.
Leave without your child, live without them forever. Look before you lock. Brought to you by Kids in Cars.
And now the entertainment news with Joe Sibilia. Joe?
Thank you, Brady. Despite the sexual assault allegations against Kevin Spacey, the Maryland-based House of Cards crew will continue to be paid for at least 2 weeks. The Baltimore Sun reported that the show's production company informed the cast and crew in an email. Between 250 and 300 people work on the Netflix series. The 2-week pay period starts today and ends December 8th. Another update on the status of the crew will be made at that time. South Africa was victorious at this year's Miss Universe pageant. Miss South Africa Demi Lee Nell Peters beat Miss Colombia and Miss Jamaica. The 22-year-old plans to use her newfound power to champion HIV, AIDS, and self-defense causes. In addition to the crown, the new Miss Universe wins a luxury apartment in New York City for a year, along with a salary and various other prizes. Nell Peters is the second woman from her country to win the Miss Universe pageant. That wraps it up for your entertainment report. I'm Joe Sibilia. Back to you, Brady and LaSalle.
Thanks, Joe. Time magazine has new owners, including Meredith Corp and the billionaire Koch brothers. Meredith Corp bought out Time for nearly $3 billion, which hands over control of Time's other publications like People magazine, Sports Illustrated, and the Entertainment Weekly to the new merger. Meredith agreed to sell a piece of the new media merger to Koch brothers, contributing to the Republican Party. This does not mean that the Koch brothers will influence the publications. Meredith, in the statement that Koch brothers have, influence on Meredith's editorial managerial operations.
That's Hofstra News Now for tonight. I am LaSalle Talia Davitori.
I'm Brady Havleb. Join us next week for another edition of Hofstra News Now.